Welcome to the Patriots lab, where we ain't even trying to make them liberals mad. Cause freedom of speech is what us individuals have. It's the gift when we gab, talking about things that the brainwash cannot mentally grasp, like staying loud and waving our American flags. This is for the free thinkers, wearing their MAGA and wearing the cags. Draining the swamp is the ultimate goal, but the sheeple will swear it's a fad, like it's just a phrase. But when we show them the facts, the fools got nothing to say, and deep government state wanna get up in our face, but hasn't done it yet cause Trump's in the way, trying to protect us from a troublesome fate. And because of that, we'll never lose our faith, plus God keeping us cool and safe. But I still hope we get 4 more years so we could throw a huge parade. I can see it now, Patriots on a float, and POTUS will go down in history as one of the GOATs for making the swamp pay for taking every one of his votes. His enemies are the cancer, whether or not Trump give him the smoke. Now relax, sit back and take notes as we kick facts with the homie Ray though. Speak your mind in the Patriots lab. It's freedom time in the Patriots lab, where we ain't even trying to, we make them liberals mad. I said speak your mind in the Patriots lab. It's freedom time in the Patriots lab, where we not even trying to, we make them liberals mad. I said, speak your mind in the Patriots lab. It's freedom time in the Patriots lab, where we not even trying to, we make them liberals mad. Speak your mind. It's freedom time.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
And here we are. A little bit late, but that's standard for this broadcast. We're going to get better at it. Today with me is not Dave Glovin. He was having some serious technical issues on his end. So since it was Dave's broadcast, I decided that it was best and proper to play his entry. And with me is William Ray of the Patriots Lab Uncensored. So I played his entry, and I don't have one of my own, so I played a countdown. So, William, since you are more knowledgeable in a lot of things than I am, why don't you take it for a while and we'll see how the show goes, okay?
Well, first of all, I like your countdown. I wanted to know where you got that from.
It's an AI on the EV Mux. It has all kinds of neat little stuff that I'm still trying to figure out. But I came to that one and I said, you know what? I like that. I just
Okay.
wish I had one more personalized to what I do. But I have to find someone to do it for me because I'm not that smart up here. But William, I know you got a lot you want to talk about, and I got a couple things I want to talk about. So let's head off with you first.
Well, it's always a pleasure to be here with you. It's a great, great morning. Great day for a cup of coffee.
Mm-hmm.
But I've just been, sitting around watching the news, seeing what people are talking about, seeing what they're not talking about. That's the most important thing, what people aren't talking about. I was watching my enemy, CNN this morning. And it's crazy how they refuse to talk about.
Oh no. Folks, he's using his cell phone, so it looks like his cell phone
Some
might be not.
photos of Epstein at Trump's wedding with him and Marla Maples, and you know, bullshit to try to deflect, should I say?
There you go. Is your cell phone charged up? Because you died out there for a moment or two.
Are you froze? Are you still there?
I'm here. I'm here. You're frozen. I know you're using your cell phone. Can you hear me? I can hear your birds chirping. Can you hear me? Oh no, folks. Looks like we're having more. Oh no. Looks like we're having more problems than what we were thinking of. Okay, hold on a second, folks. Let me see what's going on here. And if not, it's going to be a solo show. Yeah, I'm there. Hold on a second, folks. And I'm broadcasting live, and I'm on my genealogy page. I'm on my page there. And let me just check YouTube here real quick. Here we go. He's back. There you are. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I apologize for that. Must have been some technical difficulties. I must be having the Dave Glovin.
It must be a virus. You keep it to yourselves.
I know. I apologize for that. But as you were saying,
No, you were talking about some stuff, and then you asked me if I froze, and I said no. So yeah, you were talking.
oh, I believe I was talking about the things that they don't want to talk about when it pertains to Barack Hussein Obama. They rather talk about some photos from 2015 and stuff like that of Donald Trump and Epstein and nothing with no type of substance. But you know, silence silence says it all for me. When they refuse to want to talk about what is really going on right now in the political world, that lets me know that they're covering up. They're covering up, and they're going to continue to cover up what they've been doing for the past couple of years as long as they can.
No, I agree. But you know that going back in time uh, works both ways because the one law that Trump used to begin the exportation of our illegals was 100 some odd years old. Obviously not him, but his advisors or supporters uh, found that particular law, and it was still on the books, which meant it was still legal and still viable. So he used that law to deport the people. It's just a shame. It's like you're saying, you know, Trump just won another lawsuit against a network. I forget which one it was, like a $30 million lawsuit he won, and he has that multi-billion-dollar one against the network who's trying to say that Trump sent so we say a juicy photo to Epstein on his birthday, along with some comments. And Trump has 100% denied that he did not send that, and I'm going to sue you into the oblivion. Um, uh, you know, it, I can't understand why. No, I know that it works for a short few days, a short few rotations of the news network, getting people's minds. Oh, Trump sent this photo to Epstein. Oh my God. Oh, we're being sued. Let's stop talking about that. But that short period of time that it got out there on the waves and got copied and got shared and so forth, it's still out there and people are still seeing and still talking about it, so they think it has to be real. It's not until Trump wins the multi-billion-dollar lawsuit, and hopefully in there is a comment that they have to go live and publicly announce that what they did was wrong and fake, to get people to understand that. Um, I mean, how can a network survive multi-million dollars in lawsuits that they have to pay out? I mean, obviously they can probably take their sweet time paying it, but at some point that's coming out of their bank account, and then it has to hurt their bottom line. But
Well, you know, organizations like that are funded by people with a lot of money.
yeah.
And people with a lot of money pay to put propaganda out there. Um, when these people come on the airwaves and lie, they're being paid a hefty price to get out there and do that. You know, It's just sad when you can literally see the power struggle, when you can see the blatant disrespect for the rule of law. You know, what do you do? What do you do? You sit back and you hope for the best.
And I'm hearing you, and I'm looking at my second monitor trying to find us on YouTube. I know we're live. I just always have a problem trying to find where, they bring it up on the screen. I know we're live on my stuff. We live on your platform?
No, I'm on my phone. I couldn't get my
Okay.
computer to operate.
So I tell you what, let me see if I can. If you and I are friends, let me share to uh, the Patriot Lab. There you are. That has to be you. Okay. It should be on the Patriots Lab. Let me just check, make sure. What do you think? I often said that when I first, this goes back a few years, when was it Reeves who played Superman, and he broke his back doing horseback riding. Is that the right one? The right actor I'm thinking of? I made the comment that why would someone in a position like he is, he's an actor, he is loved by everybody, and he's an important person in our our lives, do something so dangerous like, not, I mean, riding a horse is honky dory fine. We are live on your platform, just so you know that.
All right.
But to go through the hoops and jump in and so forth, blah blah blah, um, and then take that chance. So here is this actor, and for me, I don't know remember his name, but he was on the TV show The Alert, and he was on some other series. He's in Costa Rica with his family, having a good time, enjoying life, and he goes out into the ocean and gets taken by it. And I guess what I also understand that his daughter was in the water at the same time, but
You're
luckily,
talking about Malcolm Jamal Warner
yes,
from the
correct,
Cosby Show. CEO from the Cosby Show.
correct. So apparently she was there as well, and she got caught up in it, and but they were able to save her. Um, why would someone? I guess she just wants to have enjoy life, and you just take your chances. I
We're
guess.
still we're still human. I mean, these men didn't do nothing that people don't do every day. I mean, just because they have a different career path and a different job doesn't mean they're not human at the end of the day.
No, I understand that, but maybe I'm thinking about it differently. Um, if it was me and I was wealthy and powerful and so forth, um, I don't think I would do anything that would jeopardize my well being.
That's
I'm
like
just
that's like them driving a car and getting into a car accident, and then you saying, well, why didn't they have a chauffeur? They're so important. They shouldn't be driving themselves around. It, shit happens in life.
yeah. I mean, we just lost Ozzy. Now he had a health issue that was long going, but he went out the way you expect him to on stage, in his wheelchair throne, singing the best as he can, and then a few days later he passes. I mean, you can't ask
Hey,
for a better way than that.
that's why I tell people all the time, God is in control of this game of life. We not in control of this game of life. We know the day, know the hour on when he wants to decide to take us.
Yeah,
So,
exactly right. You're exactly right.
you know, that's just how it is, man. Neither one,
So we have 15 people watching us the way it looks. Oh, we have some comments here.
So
Let
we
me read
have
these
15
comments.
people watching us the way it looks.
Oops, come on.
We have some comments here. Let me read these comments.
Yeah, you got some feedback.
Yeah,
Too.
yeah. Yeah, when I have to rotate my cell phone so I can see the comments, then the audio comes out. So I get that silence. So good morning, Barbara Amons. How you doing today? She is saying, hello, Randy William. I can see you both in your live. Christopher Reeves. That's right, because life isn't safe all the time. She says, I was out in the 12-foot boat for 3 months in the summer in the lake and having the time of my life. Anything can happen. You're absolutely right, Barbara. And, there are many times I'll wake up from a really, really deep sleep, and I think to myself, "Man, is this what death is like?" I went to bed at 10 o'clock. I woke up 9 o'clock the next morning, and then nothing in between. I'm laying there thinking, what the only difference is, I woke up. Maybe it's my age. Maybe my age is starting to come through. I'm getting a little bit more concerned about, end of life scenario, and but let's just get off to. Let's get on to better subjects. That's stupid. Did you see where President Trump made a massive, massive deal with Japan?
No, I heard about it. I heard he made a deal with Japan and the Philippines.
$550 billion with a B dollar investment in our country. So we wiped them out in World War II. We built them up. We rebuilt their cities. We rebuilt their economy, and they're paying us back by doing all this. And I guess that's one way of looking at it. But damn, 550. Biden couldn't even dream of something like that happening under his watch. Speaking of Biden, have you been following the Congress with the open sessions talking about Biden and the auto pen?
No. What's the latest update with the auto pen, the auto administration?
Well, they had the first day, and obviously, the Republicans were very upset because no one from the Democrat side showed up. Right, completely devoid of any Democrat person, and they're saying that proves right now that they cannot defend Biden and everything. What the hell is that? They can't prove anything that he did during his 4 years. But what they did, and I loved it, they put up this big screen TV and they started replaying all the comments made by the politicians and news people about Biden and how his brain is sharp and he has more energy than I do, and on and on and on, saying about how phenomenal he is, blah, blah, right? And they said, but you know what? When the FBI went to question him about the documents that were found in his car, his garage, his freezer, and this and that, they said that they found him to be mentally unable to answer questions, and therefore they felt that he shouldn't face any charges because he was not mentally capable, right? And it's like, if the FBI saw that, they said the auto pen was used on his 5th day in office. Day 5, they started using the auto pen. So that makes me wonder, was that when they started seeing that he wasn't capable of running our country? And on top of that, they had 3 or 4 guys talking. One was a professor, and he was doing it more from a politically he was written in the documents of our Constitution and so forth, and knew that front and back. But he was also a Democrat because he would not say anything bad about Biden. The other 3 were more pro-Republican and Trump. One was Spencer. He was there. But what they found out was that every time the auto pen was used, there had to be a document filled out indicating that this is what's going on. This is what we're using the auto pen for. And here is the president's signature allowing the auto pen to be used. So what they found out was that for every time the auto pen was used, there has to be a physical document explaining why. So now Congress is saying, we want those documents.
Well, to address your one point, they waited 5 days because that's about the amount of time they felt comfortable in using it. They knew that Joe Biden was incoherent well before he even became president. I mean, he showed that in the debates with Trump. Um, you know, it's just when you just see it happening in real time, it is sad. There's no, I'm one of those people. I don't like to go through the nuances because I don't know all the nuances. What I do know is there's some major corrupt stuff that went down within our government, and the receipts are there, and I just want to see people get held accountable and be held accountable, so we can really understand and have faith that we live in a land of laws and nobody is above the law, and we should be able to represent that no matter what side of the aisle you're on, and be able to move forward so it never happens again. So we're going to see what happens.
Now we have a couple of new people joining us. Good morning, Jane O'Malley. Good morning, Michael Muskowski. Michael is a client of mine. He's also affiliated with the Carolina Grey Ghosts. He's one of the generals. He's a phenomenal guy. I love him to death, and he has joined us here today. So if anyone here, Barbara, Jane, or Michael, if you want to join us on live, let me know. I'll send you an invitation, and we will bring you in, and we'll talk. The topics are anything. We can talk about anything you want to talk about. If you have any questions, if you have anything that you want us, the host and myself here to touch on, just type it in the comments, and we'll do that for you. I can speak personally from the aspect of dementia and Alzheimer's. Okay, and because my wife's mother had it. Now, what happened to her? She was a bright woman. I mean, she was snappy. I mean, her and I went head to head, and I usually lost. Right? When her husband died, a big portion of him died with her. Her died with him. Does that make sense? So she lost a big piece. When he passed away, she lost a big piece of her life. Okay. And the doctors think that's what triggered the break in her mind. Because the next thing that my wife and I started taking notice to was she was placing personal items in the refrigerator: toothbrush, toothpaste, makeup, that kind of stuff. And she wouldn't tell us why, but we knew why, because that's where she'd always go. She would be able to find it. And on it progressed. She thought that the smoke detectors were something that had to be fed. So she went to feed the smoke detectors, and just progressed to a point where she had to be, placed in an Alzheimer's home. But everything that she went through, every part of the stage that we witnessed, my wife saw with the president. And I 100% believe that they kept him in there because he could be manipulated. They could use the auto pen. they could. The son Hunter said the reason why he did so poorly in the debate was right before they went on, they gave him this drug to make him more alert. But what it did, one of the side effects, it made him sleepy and drowsy. Why would you drug up your president, or you just before you're going into something that important? Congress and Congress is talking about elder abuse. They're talking about of all the stuff that the LPN was used for, is it legal? Because they said that a lot of the pardons went to murderers, went to rapists, went to felons. Why would he do that? Why would he release those kind of people back out into the world? So I think, William, the only thing that we can hope for is that those pardons and so forth can be reversed, and those guys put back in prison.
I don't know. It's a long road when it comes to that. We're gonna have to we're gonna have to see. There's a lot of things going on at the same time, and we're gonna have to see. There's a lot of things going on. A lot of corrupt shit was done, and a lot of things are being now at the forefront and being exposed. And we'll see what the Department of Justice does. We'll see what Congress does to hold everybody that obviously broke the law. We'll see what they do to hold them accountable to make sure that this type of stuff never happens again.
As you and our viewers know, I do genealogy, and I love history, and archaeologists are always finding stuff to prove our history and the history of the world. They just found another site where the war between the North and the South took place. That it was a battlefield that was lost to history, and people who were out there with metal detectors were able to find this location of this very important battle. And to be honest with you, I'm sorry, I lost the article here. Throw up all my open pages here. But they're always finding stuff about the past, about our wars, about our princes. Like, for example, William, do you remember George Washington before he became the president? He was a commander in chief. Do you remember reading where it said that his men were in combat with the British, and his men were getting hit pretty hard? So what he did was to rally his men. He got on his horseback, which is a tall man to start with, and he went out on horseback and placed himself between the English and the colonials, shooting back and forth at each other. And he made the comment that let's see where it is. Never more imminent danger by being fired between two opposing forces. He said something to the point that the English can't hit the side of a barn. Okay, some kind of comment like that. And right after saying that, one of his own men accidentally shot him, wounded him. Right, but that little bit of history got lost until just a few days ago, when, with the use of drones, metal detectors, and computer-aided mapping, archaeologists were able to find the exact spot where he was shot by friendly fire. They found musket balls. They found nails. I guess that the nails probably placed inside the cannons for shrapnel, buttons from like uniforms and stuff like that. And somehow, with all that pushed together, they said, "Yep, this is where Washington was shot by friendly fire." And They also just found a cemetery, an unmarked cemetery where Confederate soldiers were buried. Um, and there was a big, I actually placed it on my own personal page, a video of them removing this Confederate soldier and taking him to be buried with all the honors in another cemetery. So we're always finding bits and pieces of our history that we should never forget about. And there's some things that are being active right now between the North and the South that I won't discuss here, but who knows? History may repeat itself and hopefully be a different outlook. Back to you, William.
Yeah, if you don't learn from it, it will repeat itself. And I don't think we've learned, so you might be right.
Well, that was a short response. Okay, let me go to this next thing. I found this. The Democrats are always trying to nail Trump's chosen people, saying they're inept, they're not qualified for their position. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? So I may not play this whole thing, but here's this guy trying to rip apart Pete Hegseth. And one of the questions the Democrat asks is this: when do you think our military will be able to attack China? I'm thinking to myself, well, first off, he wouldn't tell you that in public anyways. But to ask when would our country attack China, go to war with China? What kind of stupid question is that? So here we go.
What year has the Navy publicly set as the benchmark for being ready to fight a war with China?
Well, it needs to be right now. We know what China
I'm glad
has
to
said,
hear that, but there is a
it's right
publicly
now.
set date.
Well, we know it wouldn't be
Let me help you
prudent
out.
for me in this environment to
2027.
reveal when we think we're ready. That's what China has said, and we understand what they're
Secretary,
saying,
I
and
asked
we want to
for
be
a
capable
year.
and ready for it.
Not a filibuster. 2027 is the year. According to unclassified DoD assessments, how many warships does China have in its Navy today?
And a quick commercial here. Ba-bum-bum-bum. Love the beer.
Many and growing.
370. It's the largest Navy in the world. How many does the U.S. Navy have today?
Thanks to this budget, it's
It's a
increasing
number. I'm looking
substantially.
for a number.
But it's just south of 300.
296, pretty close. How many ships is China expected to field by 2030?
I believe that's a classified number, but it's going
There's
to go
a
up
DoD
at a rapid rate.
CMPR report that was released. There's an unclassified number.
It's going up at a rapid rate.
Let me help you out. 435. Let's see if we do better in EUCOM. What corridor in eastern Poland is vulnerable and a priority for U.S. reinforcements? It connects Belarus to a Russian region.
I'm sure you can tell me.
I can tell you. It's the Suwalki Gap. Which heavily militarized Russian territory connected the Suwalki Gap? It contains nuclear-capable missiles. It threatens all of NATO. It's right there in the middle of Eastern Europe.
I see we're playing a quiz game here.
It's
Ultimately,
Kaliningrad
thankfully,
Oblast.
we're
Let
getting
me-
our NATO allies to step up in their spending to make sure that they can hold the
Mr.
line.
Secretary, I asked you a specific question. Thank you. It's Kaliningrad Oblast. So what percentage of Ukrainian frontline casualties, let's talk drones, are now caused by FPV drones?
A very large percentage, and we're studying that conflict closely to understand
I hope so.
that fact.
It's over 70%. And which U.S. service has written doctrine or standardized procurement for integration of FPV drones?
That's the Army.
I wish that were the case, but actually the answer is none of them. So we're not prepared yet, and we need to get there fast. Let me turn to a different topic. A few weeks ago, when my office opened up in Fredericksburg, I spoke to the mother of one F-18 pilot who flew the March 15th mission over the Red Sea in Yemen that you discussed over Signal. I spoke to her again on Tuesday and asked her if there was anything she wanted me to bring up. She believes that you need to resign. She also had several questions, but one thing she said she'd appreciate an apology for putting classified information. Her son couldn't even tell her where the Truman was going, but into the Houthi PC small group signal chat that risked her son's life and the mission. Mr. Secretary, yes or no, do you think you owe her an apology?
Please make sure to let her know how grateful we are for the skill and heroism of her
I am very much grateful. I'm sure everybody in this room is grateful. I'm proud of what her son has done. The question is, do you owe her an apology for your actions? Are you going to be accountable?
It was an incredibly successful mission. Her son did great
They
work.
did a magnificent
and
job.
Thankfully, the Houthi campaign was successful.
Secretary, I agree with you. Magnificent job. The performance of those pilots and Navy personnel, magnificent. We're talking about what you did and accountability. Are you going to apologize to the mother or not?
I don't apologize for success.
You don't apologize for putting her son's life in danger and for putting the mission in jeopardy. Well, that's really disappointing and not befitting the type of leadership that our troops and families deserve. It's frankly a stunning lack of OPSEC. Privates are trained to do much better than that. It was.
You know, first off, that guy, what's that noise?
Oh, it's an airplane going over my house.
Oh, okay. So, first off, that congressman wouldn't have known any of the information that he was asking Pete Hegseth of. Someone obviously got him that information, put it together in that nice little binder he had, said, here, ask him these questions. So there's no way in hell that guy knew the answer to the question either. And Pete, he's just now getting his feet wet into his position. But first off, he has to be careful what he says. He's still learning. I mean, I can appreciate it. He's still learning position. He's not going to be. He should not be held accountable to know every single thing. Okay, that's why you have men and women in various positions and ranks to bring stuff to you. For that idiot to ask the Secretary of Defense, when are we ready to attack China? It's nuts. Okay. Oh, well, China's going to attack us in 2030. So we should attack them in 2027. How many ships do they have? Well, who knows? They have over, you know, it's not a point of how many ships you have in the waters. It's how sophisticated they are, how powerful they are, how the men and women are trained to properly use that. I mean, look at, and then bring in about the drones, okay? How do you protect against drones? Okay, you go into a war with the standard tanks, armored vehicles, blah, 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 blah. And some new technologies brought into it, like these drones. The men are inside those tanks. It's hot as hell. So they feel.
You're gonna hear a truck go by.
So they feel halfway comfortably safe. So they open up the hatch to get in some fresh air. And here's this guy in an air conditioned room somewhere else. Oh, there's a tank. He has his hatch open. I'm gonna bring my drone right down inside, and it blows up. The battlefield terrain is ever changing, and that's why Trump brought in Space Force and so forth. The reason these drones and Pete even showed how we have these drones and men are being trained to use them, and then to ask for an apology. I don't remember Biden apologizing for the 13 servicemen who were killed in Afghanistan in that waste of a pullout with the multi-billions of dollars in military equipment he left behind. Did he apologize? Did I miss that part somewhere?
Hey, I'm look when I hear these people use the word accountability, when I hear these people want to talk about everything else rather than what's really going on and what's really important. Um, I'm just at a loss for words, man. I'm just at a loss for words. He's up there acting like like you said, he don't know none of the answers to that shit himself. He's reading out of a book, and probably only 30% of the shit is actual and factual, if that. And he wants Pete to reveal all kind of classified strategic information that ain't gonna do nothing but benefit our enemies. Don't you think our enemies would like to know how many ships we got? Don't you think our enemies would like to know a lot of shit? What Pete supposed to do? Just come on the airways and tell them everything?
Exactly.
That's people are stupid. But when I look at the Democrats and I look at the liberals, I see what they're about, and I'm not talking about the mass overall citizens. I'm talking about the people at the top that are playing this power struggle game. You know, desperation brings out the worst in people, and they don't give a damn who sees it.
Exactly. You know, first off, the men and women that Trump from this first election to now. What the hell is this? Okay. Wow. I never knew my all roads lead home can be used by so many different people. But anyways, uh, the Democrats are constantly attacking the choices that Trump makes. And for those men and women to, first off, accept the role that Trump has chosen them for, shows that they have strength and stamina, because they're going to catch all kinds of holy hell from the left. You know, they're going to have their names and their home addresses put out there for everybody to see, so that the left can come and harass them night and day. They're going to have to go through these damn meetings in the Congress to be questioned and bullied. I mean, holy shit! They want a yes or no answer, right? And the questions they ask cannot be effectively answered with a yes or no, because a yes or no makes it places it on record as, for example, do you know where the hell that's part of Europe with the long border with Russia, blah blah blah. Who the hell knows, right? You know, why would he even look into it unless there was some kind of military action going on? Why would the Secretary of Defense want to know what's going on that little piece of land? Unless, like I said, there's some war battle going on, and we might have to bring troops in to bring it in, and then to try and get him to say when we're going to attack China. I mean, what about the idiot that revealed secrets to the Chinese spies that he was screwing? What happened to him? Nothing. All the Democrats releasing all this information across the board, and nothing happens to them.
Yeah,
And
nothing happens to him yet.
yeah, but it's been 4, 8, 12, 16 years. And I hate to say this, but I've said this before years ago on, I was not sure it was your broadcast or someone else's broadcast, but the leaders of the Democrats, they have a following, if you want to call them that is just looking for an answer to destroy. And if you put enough money in their hands, they'll go out and do whatever you want. They'll loot, they'll burn, they'll kill, they'll dance on the policemen's cars. They'll place graffiti on Confederate statues and monuments. They'll tear up the cemeteries. If you tell them what to do, they'll do it, because that's the kind of people that the Democrat Party wants as their constituents, right? But we, on the other hand, on the Republican side, I may be speaking out of turn here, but I don't think so. Republicans I find are more conservative. They are more Christian. They believe in the Ten Commandments and so forth. And we don't go out there and loot and steal and burn and do stuff like that. And they know that. So when they can call up their army of civilians to do what they want, where are we at? We're at home watching on TV for the most part. The police officers are told to stand down. Don't intervene. The firefighters can't get to where the fires are because of looters and rioters, right? These Confederate statues are being torn down. They're being graffitied. Where are we at? We're nowhere to be found to protect them. Even though, the Confederacy has, groups, and I won't name them, but they have groups that are organized for the purpose of protecting those statues, those monuments, those cemeteries. But they don't show up because we're told, we don't do it. You go home and you pray about it. Now, Trump reinitiated that $10,000 fine. He had it in his first term. He brought it back in his second term. That if you're caught, with graffiti on statues and so forth, you'll be arrested, and there'll be a $10,000 fine. So that seems to slow things down a little bit there. But when will the Democrats meet their due? I hope I can see it before I pass away, because the Democrats, they're in there for like 40 years, 30 years, 20 years. There has to be term limits. There has to be age limits. They know when to buy stock, when not to buy stock, because they have inside trader, which is illegal. But they can get away with it. But others can't. I don't know, William. What's it going to take for those on the right to start placing these people in jail?
I think it's getting very, very close. I think it's getting very, very close to jail sentences coming up. And I believe we're going to see it. And we're going to see it within the next couple of years. Donald Trump, he made a statement the other night that was very telling of everything. Like he said when he thought about locking Hillary up, when they had the goods on her. See, you got to remember, whether he would have been successful or not is another story. But just to attempt to lock her up, he chose the latter. Like he said, out of respect for Bill, and Bill being the ex-president. And let me tell you, for them being friends, because let's go back to the early days. They were friends. I don't know how the relationship developed over years, but I do know one thing: at a point in time, they were buddies. So, but then he said, after what they did to him, and this is something I paid attention to very closely. He said, whether right or wrong, these people are going to pay. So when he made the statement, whether right or whether wrong, that told me he really don't give a damn if they didn't do it, if they did it. Let the court settle that shit when it does settle. But what he is going to do is prosecute these people. That he is going to do. See, people talking about, and now they putting on the airways, oh, Barack Obama, he'll never get arrested. He has presidential immunity. People forget they have short-term memory. When they arrested Donald J. Trump, that precedent was set. I don't care if you're active president, retired president, ex-president, soon to be. It was a president. Now you don't get to pick and choose in what realm as president you get charged and arrested. No, you don't get to make that choice. As long as you got the title president, I don't care if it's ex, present, future, you are susceptible to now being arrested. Barack Obama, Barack Hussein Obama. I told y'all I wanted y'all to do all that crooked shit. We need a precedent set. But people got short-term memory. They forget precedent was already set. Trump knows that. Trump knows that. And Trump thanks them for it. Because there ain't nothing Trump gonna do that ain't never been done before. See, before they would be able to say, oh, Trump locking up presidents, that shit ain't never been done before. Oh, yeah. Okay.
You know, we're just talking about the questions that Pete Hicks was being asked about the condition and the readiness of our military. And I was just scrolling through here for some updates, just a couple things here and there. And I came across this one here, and then we'll have to bring the show to an end. The U.S. warship, the Fitzgerald, was on course, with the Iranian Ocean, their territorial waters, and Iran sent out this helicopter to warn the Fitzgerald, you're getting too close, back off. You're getting too close, back off. A helicopter. This here is a missile destroyer. It has high-powered weapons on it, and the commander backed down, and he left the area. Now, obviously, Iran can use that. Hey, look, they're afraid to go against our helicopter. They don't have any backbone, blah, blah, blah. We are big and bad. Why would you, if you're going to place your ship that close to the your enemy's waters, why would you back off to a helicopter? If you're going to do it, to go whole hog wild, right? We're kind of like at war with them anyways. So I don't know. But it just goes to show that I don't think we're ready to fight a war. I think Trump's doing everything possible to keep us out of wars. He's making the various heads of governments to foot the bill for their own military, to build up their own military, so we don't have to be responsible for them anymore. And we shouldn't be. As far as I'm concerned, we shouldn't be responsible for other countries. Let's take care of ourselves. Let's put the effort into building that Golden Dome. I saw a video of how it's supposed to work. It's pretty cool.
Well,
it really is.
First of all, people really need to understand. In war, there are going to be some type of casualties. And this is how I look at America. It's no longer a war, at least when America is involved, to where it's going to be a full ground assault. I really think, because I believe the bullshit politics of them all is over with these weak ass politicians. I think America has people can say what they want to say. When Donald Trump won like the way he won, America was tired of being disrespected on the world scene, amongst other things. There was always a saying about America, and I truly believe it'll always go down that way. You might get a city, but we'll take out your whole fucking country. So
Yeah.
there's casualties in wars. You might get a city, but we're gonna take out your whole fucking country. You might get a couple of ships, but we're gonna take out your whole fucking fleet. Because at the end of the day, we are the superpower. At the end of the day, we have shit that when it's unleashed till its full capacity, no country can sustain the onslaught, and no country can match the firepower. Yeah, you might get a couple through. You might do some damage. But we will annihilate you in the process. Hey, you got to take the good with the bad. America's always been ready to win. Now, you can't never predict sneak attacks and shit like that. But once we get our feet on stable ground and we looking you eye to eye, oh yeah, you got a shot, but you better
Yeah.
make it count.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to bring this to an end. If you don't mind, I'm going to play this one song that my general Alex Wissonet of the Caroline Gray Ghost wrote. He actually, I'm not sure how I got the if they were given to him or not, but I had this. I don't know if you've checked it out yet, William, or anybody else who's watching. It's called Suno, SUNO.com. It's an AI. It has a free sign up where we get three songs a day for free, or for $8 a month you can get 10 songs a day for free. It has hundreds of different styles of music. If you just put in 5 words, it will create the rest of the song along with the music. You can choose how you want it to be played and who to sing it. It is phenomenal. One of these days, I'm going to spend enough time trying to figure out if I can use this for my open and reels for my own personal shows. But I'm going to go ahead and I guess he bounced out. So I'm going to go ahead and play this song and end the show then.
With stars and bars, marching through the field of scars, Virginia roots and family ties, underneath those southern skies. Raise the flag and bow your head for the stories of the ones now dead. Family, faith, and God above, echoing through the land we love. Fields of green and rivers wide hold the tales of stubborn pride, voices carried on the breeze, whispering through the ancient trees. Raise the flag and bow your head for the stories of the ones now dead. Family, faith, and God above, echoing
Wow. 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 General Alex Wisnet, thank you so much for those lyrics. AI, thank you for the song, the singing, the music. Oh my God. So, folks, look, I have no problems. If you guys have some ideas for some songs that I could use for myself on my broadcast, as well as give you the ability to share it as well. Send me you only need a handful of words, style, music, and the AI does the rest. Uh, I have not been making full use of it. I got to start doing that because it's $8 a month. It's not a lot of money, but I'm not making use of it fully to its ability to what I should be doing. So I want to go back. Barbara Amons, if you have any ideas for songs, let me know. Jane O'Malley, same for you. David Nobar, thanks for showing up. I hope the teeth came out fine for you. We probably got cotton gauze and stuff in your mouth, keep it from getting infected. So I hope you are pain free with that. Michael Mikowski, thank you for being here today, sir. I do appreciate it when you show up. I hope you were here when you heard that song. If not, I'll send it to you in a messenger. Jane O'Malley, again, thank you for being here. Barbara Hamons, thank you for being here. And for all those who didn't make any comments who are watching the show, unfortunately, Dave, we started, we do, start setting up like 20 of. He has a headset, or 2 headsets, or I don't know how many he has, but I guess he forgets to charge them up. I don't know what the problem was. He was able to, his microphone was working fine. We were able to talk. He just couldn't hear me through his headset. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. So hopefully next time, we can have Dave on his own broadcast. So anyways, this is Randy from All Roads Lead Home Genealogy and Col Randall Rhodes of the Carolina Grey Ghosts, Home Guard volunteers, following General John Mosby and all the other fine men who died trying to bring the South into its own being. And hopefully sometime in the next few years, we might be able to try that one more time. And because we do, the South does have a lifestyle unique and different from the North. And I don't want to get into a argument about that, but they do. I've seen it, besides my own ancestors who fought for the South. And inside, I beat Southern. And maybe one of these days, I'll be able to go down south, and at least if no other reason to visit. I do have relatives who live in Florida, the Brett's family. A number of my mom's brothers and sisters moved down to Florida. So there was a slew of them. I'm sure with all the marriages and kids and so forth, there's probably a slew of my mom's family down there now. Yeah. One quick memory. We went to visit my grandfather who married a lady from Virginia, a good old Southern lady. And they lived in Florida, and my brother and I were out walking, and it's just a regular, house and neighborhood. And we passed this pond of water. Holy shit. There was this alligator. Just kind of like strolling through. Yeah, we're having a good time here. So, okay, all right. Now let's get back to the house. So with that, folks, enjoy your is it Wednesday? Enjoy your Wednesday, and take care. I hope you enjoyed the show. Please comment after the fact if you have subject matter you want us to talk about. This show is here for you more than it is for us. Again, I apologize for Dave and his mechanical issues. One of these days we'll get that scored away for him so he can be here. So Randy of All Roads Lead Home Genealogy and Col Randall Rhodes of the Carolina Grey Ghosts Home Guard volunteers saying toodles.